So the politician she's referring to is Pauline Hanson. She appeared on the Today Show this morning. Among the things she said was that the fact is a lot of them, referring to the people in the tower blocks, are drug addicts as well. She said they're alcoholics. A lot of these people are from non-English speaking backgrounds, probably English isn't their second language, who haven't adhered to the rules of social distancing. Brooke, how did you feel watching that go out on your program today?
I felt completely heartbroken. I grew up in Housing Commission, and to me, I was thinking about all of those kids sitting at home watching, or all of those people trapped in their apartments watching and thinking, this is what Australia thinks of us, this is what the rest of our country thinks, is that we're alcoholics and drug addicts. And that's disgusting. And I'm all for free speech, and I think that, you know, people, when they have different perspectives and different opinions, that most of the time it does help drive argument forward, or, you know, debate forward, or policy forward. But when you use it to vilify people, or to be deliberately mean and mean-spirited, that to me is disgusting.
But I suppose it's not surprising that Pauline Hanson said some of those things. She's got a long record of saying things that provoke outrage and some would argue promote division. She's been on your program and other breakfast programs for a very long time. Why get rid of her now? The Today Show said that she's no longer coming back.
I think there is a very big difference between saying things that you really truly believe and are helpful and representing your electorate. And let's not forget that she's elected, and if you go and have a look at some of the comments that are around on the internet, there are a lot of people who support Pauline Hanson. And those perspectives, you know, they should be heard. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of them, and they certainly don't match up with my values, but that doesn't mean that their perspectives are worth any less than mine and that they shouldn't be heard on platforms like the Today Show or Q&A or whatever. But when they cross over to being mean and causing division and vilifying a whole group of people, I think that's a whole other story, and I think that that's where we draw the line.
I think that's a bit of a cop-out. I mean, she's been a public racist since 1996. She used her first maiden speech to say that we were in danger of being swamped by Asians, and she used her second maiden speech to say that we were in danger of being swamped by Muslims. I mean, we're talking about someone here who didn't just wake up this morning and for the first time ever say something racist, and shows have been platforming her. And, you know, free speech is one thing. Elevating racism in the discourse is another, and I think what we need, and what Labor's been calling for a long time, is an anti-racism campaign, a national anti-racism campaign, to try to deal with some of the things that we're hearing at the moment, particularly during the COVID pandemic. It's pretty clear what we need.
Today's Show's not the only show that has Pauline Hanson on it regularly. Sunrise had for a long time. So
right.
It's, I mean, it's
but
obviously...
and I think she
builds ratings.
But that relationship fell apart over the Christchurch attacks and an altercation between the host and Pauline Hanson then, and that regular spot was resumed pretty promptly on the Today program.
Show,
I mean, do these programs, do you think, just place the ratings over productive public conversation?
Well, I think they do, but ratings is very much the preeminent priority of those kinds of shows, or most commercial television, because they want to sell advertising. So Pauline Hanson does very well for ratings, because she'll say these kinds of totally inappropriate things, racially profiling people in public housing is absolutely disgraceful, and such a thing of the past. I mean, it kind of reminds you of Oswald Mosley from the 1930s. It's sort of bizarre. But it's...
but he wouldn't do it on television. He wouldn't.
Well, he wouldn't have had the chance.
Well,
he wouldn't have had the chance.
But I'm curious. I mean, I appreciate you might not be privy there in the moment, but when Senator Hanson gets up and speaks in the Senate, is there much difference in what she says compared with what she says on the television?
I don't know. I haven't listened to one of her speeches in the Senate, nor read them.
Is it any more nuanced in the Senate?
So, well, neither... Christopher wasn't in the Senate and I'm not in the Senate, but I can... You know, you see the sorts of things that she does to get attention, like wearing a burqa into the chamber to try to provoke division amongst the Australian community.
Does she see herself, do you think, as a delegate for the people that she represents, rather than a senator?
I think it's a business model. I think it's all about her... Frankly, I think it's about... she's got a party built on a brand. The brand is built on her personality. Her business model has worked.
No, I don't agree with that. I think that Pauline Hanson genuinely believes the things that she says, and she's been quite consistent about it, consistently bad, right? But she's been consistent about it.
But it can be both, Christopher.
As you pointed out.
It can be both.
96 to the second one. Could be both, depends on the people around her. But
it depends on what you're using it for.
I've been surprised watching Pauline Hanson over 20-odd years that her views haven't changed very much. And to go to your point, Shaun, there's definitely a cadre of people who believe and agree with what Pauline says. And they've been the one party from the non-Labor side of politics that has been actually quite electorally successful in the last 20 years, One Nation.
But as a politician, she has to be more than just a voice for the people she represents.
Well, of course, but
she has to...
takes all kinds.
And it's down to the voters, to be honest, Shaun, isn't it? I mean,
Sorry?
who puts her in the parliament, the people who vote for her? It's not just about one woman, it's about what a big slice of the community
And they'd be listening to
thinks.
this conversation tonight saying that's exactly why we vote for Pauline Hanson,
exactly.
because of those kinds of people
Go and have
like
a look at
us
the
who
comments
sort
on
of
the
say that they're
internet.
not...
They support her. This isn't, you know,
They
she
do.
hasn't put herself there.
No.
These people elected her. They believe what she believes.
Quite
And
elected elected her, by the way. Like, she got
exactly,
2
and-
quotas the year that she got elected.
There may be, you know, a certain portion who are led along by her, but a lot of them wholeheartedly believe what she believes.
Can we be clear about this, though? Are you happy to see her gone, dumped from your
I
program?
am so happy to see her gone. You know, she says awful things about Aboriginal people as well that really upset me. And, you know, it's not about me being upset. It's about someone intentionally being divisive. And they're ill-informed. They're just not true, the things that she says. And that's what's really upsetting, because as a journalist, you know, you sort of try your very best to make sure that what you say is factual. And, you know, even when you do give your opinion, you don't say things that aren't true.